It is true that I showed my players in recent years clips of Man City, of Pep Guardiola's team.
But it's really good. So in Champions League, in the Premier League, is doing magnificent. So that proves the quality of he has.
For years, Pep Guardiola has dominated world football, from his sextuple side at Barcelona to his record-breaking Bayern team to winning 6 Premier League titles with Manchester City. He is an all-timer.
A 10th national title in his last 13 active seasons. He is phenomenal, and they live off him.
For many, he's the greatest manager of all time.
It completely transformed the way of people thought, I think, in this country about the game, how the game could be played in the Premier League.
How would you describe Pep Guardiola's impact on the Premier League?
Revolutionary.
He broke down some barriers in terms of how you can be successful in it and the way you approach things.
But all great things eventually come to an end.
An era can come to an end.
Ten Hag was right when he said this. He was just wrong about which bald Dutchman was gonna do it.
You didn't let me sign enough Ajax players. Get the out. Yeah, fair enough.
For years, the Premier League belonged to one man. City played a brand of football that no one could touch. They were ruthless. But now, things are beginning to change. We're entering a new chapter, a new rivalry. The Slot vs Pep era. Both Liverpool and Manchester City have spent big, upgrading their squads and preparing for yet another title race. Usually, the story before each season was about Pep's dominance.
Well, I am a master winning the Premier League.
But now, it's about Arne Slot's rise. In 2025, the Dutch Lex Luthor didn't just compete, he beat Pep. And that shocked everyone because for the first time in years, Pep wasn't alone at the top. This is the start of something special, a new rivalry. Lots of football IQ, not a lot of hair.
I thought he'd never leave.
Me neither.
The Premier League is beginning a new era. What's crazy is that Pep's dominance of the Premier League is being disrupted by one of his own admirers, a man who was able to steal his playbook and make it his own. You see, Slot has been very open about how much he has learned from Pep.
And then I was lucky enough that in that period of time there was, of course, the Barcelona team from Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
I saw that they did 10 out of 10 times the pattern that we, my teammates and me, did 2 out of 10 times maybe.
The tactical principles and possession-based rules that he uses in his Liverpool side to maintain control were shaped by watching footage of Pep Guardiola's dominant Barcelona side.
So that brought me to an idea in ball possession where I felt like, okay, this is the idea I have now, how can I transmit this to my players, make it really simple for them to understand the game in the same way as I thought I understood it.
Watching the way they kept the ball, the way they found each other, the passages of play. For someone as obsessed with football as Slot, it was eye-opening.
His Barcelona team was, of course, they were great players as well, but the way he let them play was, every time when it was Sunday evening, you were hoping that Barcelona was on, that they had to play a home game, so we could watch them again.
He said there are few people in football who, when you watch them, will never let you down. For Slot, those two people were Pep Guardiola and Lionel Messi.
You once said that Pep Guardiola and Lionel Messi are two of the people who, quote, have never disappointed you on the pitch.
When Barcelona were at their peak from 2009 to 2011, Arne was still a player, but there was no better team to learn from. For many, the Barcelona team from that era is the definition of peak football, a combination of incredible coaching, team play, and individual brilliance. When managers want to show their teams how to play selfless, how to move the ball, they show them Pep's Barcelona side. Funny enough, there are actually a lot of similarities between Slot's Liverpool side and Pep's 2009 Barca side. Both have an insane winger who loved to cut inside on his left and create magic. Both had an Argentine as their number 10. Both also had a solid foundation to build on from the previous coach. Slot did an amazing job, but the team he inherited did have the best center back in the league, the best right back, the best right winger, and even the best backup goalie. And Gravenberch, who's a player who was rejuvenated under Slot, is a player that Klopp fought pretty hard to purchase. Well, the same thing can be applied to Pep's Barca side from that year. He inherited a team that had Messi, Xavi, Henry, Iniesta. Both teams also had a top-class center back as the captain of the team. Slot has fellow Dutchman Virgil van Dijk leading his team. Pep had Puyol. Both teams lost to an unexpected opponent. Slot lost to Nottingham Forest at home, while Pep's Barca side, a team that would end up winning the treble, lost their opening league game to to newly promoted Numancia. Both teams also put a lot of trust in their youth academy. You see Slot using Connor Bradley and Curtis Jones. And of course, we all know the La Masia players that Pep loved to use. Both teams also beat Real Madrid at home. Pep beat Real Madrid on its first ever El Clasico 2-0 at the Camp Nou. Slot beat Real Madrid at Anfield. In recent years, Real Madrid had gotten the better of Liverpool. They beat them in 2 separate finals, embarrassed them 5-2 at their own ground. It was a team that no matter how well the Reds were doing, they just couldn't get by. But then Slot's Liverpool not only beat them 2-0, but absolutely dominated them the entire game. It felt more symbolic than a normal win. It was a shift in psychology for the team and the fans. They now believed anything was possible with Slot in charge. Well, it was a similar thing for Pep back at Barca in 2009. Prior to Pep's appointment in 2008, Barca had more losses than wins against Real Madrid. They had not won the league since 2006 and had actually finished third the season before. Under Pep though, Barcelona dominated Real Madrid. They ended up winning the league, Copa del Rey, and Champions League. Then even beat Real Madrid 6-2 at their own ground. Now unfortunately, Slot didn't win the treble, but he followed an almost identical path to Pep's very first season with Barca. Now, many managers have been inspired by Pep. Many have tried to copy his playbook, but have not been able to replicate his results. Arteta was Pep's right-hand man. He worked right under him as Pep began his early dominance in the Premier League. Yet, despite how close he had gotten, Arteta wasn't able to disrupt Pep's dominance. Back-to-back seasons where City came back from behind to lift the title. To truly beat Pep, you have to match his baldness. You can't win with a full head of hair.
I saw someone bald over there as well.
What Slot has done is he has continued learning. When he became a full-time coach, Pep was at Manchester City. He was still dominating, but his City side didn't play like his Barca team. They didn't even play like his Bayern team.
When Pep left over there came a new era, and that was the rivalry between Liverpool and City. So I've seen a lot of that rivalry and a lot of games.
What makes him a good manager, in my opinion, that he always adjusts his style of play towards the players he had. He used Messi as a false nine, then he went to Bayern Munich and he started to play with inverted fullbacks and wingers on the side because he had Robben Rivalry over there. So he always finds a way of bringing the best out of his players.
People act like Pep's success only comes from spending money, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, good players help him, but that's the case for any great manager. Sir Alex Ferguson broke the transfer record 5 times, more than twice as much as any other Premier League manager. You look at the amounts he spent and account for inflation, he was the highest spending manager in Premier League history. Now again, that's not what made him great. Look at how much United have spent since he has been gone. If money was the main contributor to teams being successful, then United and even Chelsea would have been dominating for the past few years. What Pep does is he makes good teams great. People have this unrealistic expectation that he can just take over a League 2 side and take him to the Champions League final. That's just not how it works in football. The best coaches have always had the best players. His Bayern team wrapped up the title in record time after just 27 match days, the earliest a team has ever clinched the Bundesliga at the time. They went 28 games unbeaten. Yes, he didn't win the Champions League with them like his predecessor, but it's not like it's a guarantee to win the most prestigious club competition every year. For example, Jupp did win it in 2013, but before then, the last time that Bayern had won the Champions League was 2001. Under Pep, the Bavarians were always a threat. They made it to the semi-finals in all 3 years that he was there, but the margins are tiny. In 2014, the Madrid team he lost to ended up winning the whole thing. In 2015, he lost to MSN Barca, that again ended up winning the whole thing. In 2016, they were eliminated by away goals to Atletico, who were a penalty kick away from winning the whole thing. I think it's a testament to Pep's greatness that anything besides winning every trophy possible is seen as a failure. Then at City, he turned the league that many people claim is the best into a farmers league.
Because we won 6 Premier Leagues, a lot of titles.
Yes, many of the title races were close, but City won 6 Premier League titles in 8 seasons, 4 of them in a row, something that not even Sir Alex Ferguson was able to do. You didn't even have to watch the games to know who would be lifting the trophy in May. City had won 2 league titles before Pep, but they had shown nowhere near the same level of dominance. Not to mention their track record in Europe was very poor. Pep came in and not only got them to their first ever Champions League final, but he helped them win the competition in 2023, winning the 2nd ever treble in his career. Now Slot is a smart man. He was seeing that wherever Pep went, he would dominate teams, especially domestically.
What is it about him that you admire so much?
Look at his track record, that's one. But second of all, because it's not only about the trophies you win, it's also the way you win it.
The league, by the way, is the best place to judge a manager because teams and coaches can go on a lucky cup run or hit form at the right time. I mean, look at Ten Hag with the FA Cup or Spurs when they made it to the 2019 Champions League final. But nobody can just accidentally win the league. The league is 38 games. It rewards longevity and consistency. It is the best place to judge a manager's quality. Slot noticed that every league that Pep joined, the points tally required to win that league became infinitely higher. In La Liga, before Pep arrived, you normally needed 76 to 85 points to win the league. After Pep, the average points needed was 90 to 99 points. The same thing happened in the Bundesliga. Before, 70 to 81 points would get you the title. With Pep there, you needed closer to 90. In the Premier League, the same thing. Liverpool got 97 points in 2019, and they still couldn't defeat Pep. As a result, Slot realized that he had to take as many plays from Pep's playbook as possible. So he started playing around with the concepts of inverted fullbacks and using center backs as midfielders. Since both Slot and Pep were midfielders when they played, they relied on their football IQ rather than their physical attributes. And as a result, they were able to see the game differently.
I learned a lot when I played myself, which ball did I like my teammate to play, which ball I didn't like my teammate to play. I needed my teammates to get a bit of quality into my own game, and I think that helps now being a manager because you think more about the game and about your teammates than if you're just simply that good that if they give you the ball you can do something special with it yourself.
He was testing things out at Alkmaar and Feyenoord way before he had even come to England. The quick passing triangles that we always saw from Pep's teams were also seen in the way that Slot's Feyenoord side played. His admiration for Pep went beyond tactics. At Liverpool, Slot implemented a change in routine for matches, inspired by what the Spaniard had done with his City and Barca side. Instead of staying at a hotel the night before a home match, Slot had the players sleep at home. The squad would then meet on the morning of the match for a team meeting before taking the bus to Anfield. It's a change that Pep implemented early in his coaching career, and it had a positive impact according to Xavi. And based on Liverpool's home record, it seems that they've enjoyed the change as well. Now, Slot has copy-pasted many of Pep's tactics and philosophy, but he's his own manager. He had been inspired but made his own tweaks. His teams are far more direct than Pep's sides. They're essentially a hybrid of all the different teams and coaches that Slot has learned from. His midfield controls the tempo of the game like a Pep team, but his sides can also counter and play fast heavy metal football like Klopp's team, and it's that combination that allowed his side to win the Premier League. Now, there's still a long way to go for Slot. He wants to win more than one league title. He wants to build a dynasty. He also wants you to get your own Liverpool jersey. Go to buygamejerseys.com and use code PETTALKS at checkout. Klopp was able to win one league title as well, but he wasn't able to win it again. Many managers have felt the joy of being ahead of Pep for a bit, only to be standing there with nothing come the next season. But it would be fitting for the student to become the teacher, for Pep's era to be ended by someone who has been inspired so much by the Spaniard. And it can easily happen, especially since Slot is finally getting his own players. He won the league in his first season with barely any new signings, but now he has been backed financially. Wirtz, Frimpong, Ekitike, add in the fact that Slot's teams historically get better in the second season, and you have a recipe for success. To see just how good Slot's new Liverpool team is, you gotta check out this video right here.